Welcome to the channel. You've pressed play. Perhaps you want to learn. Perhaps you just want to relax and let your mind drift into a gentler rhythm. Whatever the reason, you are here now, and together we will step quietly into the ancient world. This is Rome. Not the Rome of marble statues or legions marching off to war, but the Rome of daily life. Here, the stone streets are filled with the shuffle of countless footsteps, and the air is thick with the scent of bread ovens, olive oil, and smoke. Here, people bathe, not in the solitude of a modern shower, but in crowded communal spaces, the bathhouses or thermae that shaped so much of Roman social life. In this journey, we will look first at what it was like to spend a day in one of those bathhouses, with all the discomforts and quiet indignities that came with it. Then we will move on to the grand but troubled story of Emperor Commodus, whose reign shows us another side of Roman life. Afterward, we will wander into the mysteries of an object that still confounds historians today, the strange bronze dodecahedrons left behind by Roman craftsmen. And at last, we will sit quietly at the table of Rome's elites, where luxury and indulgence reveal the striking contrasts within the empire. So let us settle in, breathe slowly, and begin.
You wouldn't last a day in a Roman bathhouse. Imagine yourself in Rome in the year 180. You've been told it's time for a bath, but this is not the quick and private ritual we know today. Instead, it's a public event. You enter a sprawling complex where men, and sometimes women, come together to cleanse themselves and socialize. You hand over a small coin and step inside. The first thing you notice is the smell, a thick, heavy air filled with the temps of sweat and urine. You are expected to undress completely and hand your clothes to a servant. And now you are in the apoditerium, the changing hall. From here, you move into the tepidarium, a warm chamber where your body begins to sweat. Next comes the caldarium, the hot room, where the air is thick with steam. Your chest feels heavy as you breathe. Here you may pour water over yourself or scrape your skin with a metal tool. The sensation is strange, both relieving and slightly painful. When the heat becomes unbearable, you plunge into the frigidarium, the cold pool. This is a shock to the body, but it's also a shock to the system. You are in the middle of a crowded Roman bath. Deals are being struck, friendships are being made and broken, and you are in the center of it all. You probably wouldn't last a day here. But for the Romans, this was normal. This was daily life. You leave behind the mist and murmurs of the Roman bathhouse. The steam fades, the sounds soften, and in their place arises the steady rhythm of Roman power. Few rulers left a more strange and troubling mark than Commodus. Commodus was born in the year 161, the son of Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's wisest rulers. While his father wrote reflections on duty and virtue, Commodus was raised in luxury, cocooned within the imperial palace. He was the emperor's heir, destined for power, but without the grounding discipline that might have tempered it. When Marcus Aurelius died, the empire passed to Commodus. Many hoped he would follow in his father's footsteps, but soon it became clear he would not. Commodus entered the arena dressed as a gladiator, not to fight, but to perform. He delighted in the cheers of the crowd, but many senators and officials grew uneasy. They saw in Commodus a threat to the dignity of Rome. As his behavior grew more erratic, his grip on power slipped. By the year 192, conspirators had taken action. It is said that a trusted companion poisoned him, but when that failed, another was sent to finish the job. A wrestler, perhaps. Commodus was only 31 when he died, leaving behind a legacy of unease and instability. Now, let us turn from the known to the unknown. What do you do when everything is going well? You leave the known world for the unknown. You step into the shoes of a Roman citizen and experience Rome like never before. Lost in the vastness of ancient Rome, have you ever stumbled upon a peculiar bronze object nestled in the ruins? Imagine, if you will, a tiny dodecahedron, a 12-sided die, perfectly smooth, with each face shaped like a pentagon and a small, whole board through the center of each side. This enigmatic artifact is known as a Roman dodecahedron, and it has puzzled historians for centuries. Archaeologists have unearthed hundreds of these small bronze objects across Europe, each one a mystery waiting to be unraveled. But here's the enigma. Despite their widespread use, no Roman author ever mentioned these dodecahedrons in their writings. They are silent? The first intriguing clue lies in their unique design. Each of the 12 sides boasts a 5-pointed star, while the center of each side features a circular hole. Could these holes have served as a guide for weaving, ensuring the perfect tension for each thread? Or perhaps they were used for measuring distances or angles during construction projects. However, their purpose remains shrouded in mystery, as does their intended audience. Were they simple tools, ornaments, or something more? The silence of history leaves us with more questions than answers. Join me as we continue to explore the lost world of ancient Rome, where history whispers to us through the ages. What secrets do these Roman dodecahedrons hold? Share your thoughts and let the discussion begin. The banquets of Rome. Imagine now that the sun has set over the city of Rome. The streets outside are dim, the air filled with the faint smoke of torches. In the heart of the city, beyond tall walls and gaudy gates, another world comes alive. You are invited to recline on a cushioned couch in the triclinium, the dining hall of the Romans. Here, meals are not hurried affairs. They are drawn out, sometimes lasting for hours, sometimes stretching late into the night. The table is low, designed for comfort as guests lean on their elbows, reaching lazily for dishes placed before them. As the evening unfolds, the main dishes arrive. Platters of roasted lamb, pork or poultry, seasoned with garum, a fermented fish sauce beloved by the Romans. Bowls of lentils and chickpeas, spiced vegetables and fruits are passed along. In wealthier homes, exotic foods are displayed: oysters from distant coasts, peacocks with feathers arranged for display, even imported spices from lands far beyond the empire. The banquet is not only about food, it is a performance of status. To host lavishly is to show one's power and generosity. Guests are entertained with music, flutes, lyres, the soft beat of drums. Sometimes poets recite verses or dancers move slowly between the couches. The evening is meant to delight all the senses. But beneath the splendor lies a striking contrast. For while the elite dine in luxury, many in the city survive on little more than bread, olives, and thin porridge. Outside the villa walls, the streets are crowded, the air filled with the hum of ordinary life. Hunger is common, work is unending, and the feast inside would seem like another world entirely. And so our journey through Rome comes to an end. We began in the crowded, humid chambers of the bathhouse, where daily life was shaped by steam, sweat, and the closeness of strangers. We walked through the rituals of cleansing and felt how ordinary Romans carried the weight of routine. Discomfort in a place that was as much about society as it was about bathing. From there, we followed the path of Commodus, the boy emperor who inherited the empire of his wise father, Marcus Aurelius, only to turn it into a theater for his own His reign, so full of spectacle and strangeness, reminds us how fragile the balance of power can be, even at the very heart of Rome. We turn to mystery, to the small, bronze dodecahedrons scattered across distant provinces. Objects that invite us to wonder, to imagine, and to accept that not everything about the past will ever be explained. Their silence, their absence of record, leaves us with questions that may never find answers. And finally, we reclined among the banquets of the Roman elite, listening to soft music, watching lamps flicker on painted walls, tasting foods that revealed both indulgence and inequality. A world of comfort for some, of hunger for many others. A reminder that Rome, like all societies, contained both splendor and struggle,